All right. Hello, everybody. I am sitting here with my friend and colleague, Joey Lee. And Joey is going to be leading a workshop next month here through Redbeard called with the title Self-Care for Computer Users. And she, I'd say, is uniquely qualified to teach a workshop like this. When I met Joey, she was a computer scientist. I think, well, actually, you're still a computer scientist, but now you're becoming Feldenkrais practitioner and a movement expert. Just tell us a little bit about your background. How did you go from computer science into the movement world?
Yeah, specifically, it's a computational neuroscientist. So my PhD was actually in neuroscience. I want to study the brain. But what happens is you cannot really disconnect the brain from the body. That's what I realized after 5, 6 years of doing science research. So yeah, I think movement, especially Feldenkrais method, I call it effective practical neuroscience, meaning you do need the knowledge of the brain and understand how it works, how it coordinates everything, but then you got to put that into practice. And here we mean the body.
Very cool. Well, tell us a little bit about the workshop itself. Who's the intended audience?
Yeah, intended audiences like me who are heavy computer users who spend a lot of time in front of the computer, sitting, sometimes maybe standing, but really it's pretty common. I see from me, my colleagues, my friend having troubles like lower back pain or stiff spine and the very tight shoulders, and then eye straining, and overall the whole body feels stiff, not soft, not very movable. And this kind of common complaints, and I think it also coming from the fact that computer screen is this external stimuli that just grabs your attention the whole time. So before you notice your body's aware signal, your body's warning signal, you're already like sucked into this, and when you find out something's wrong, it's kind of too late. So I think Feldenkrais method is especially unique in that it focus on increasing your awareness so you can comfort your body more timely, and that will also improve the work.
Very cool. So how does, getting pain or discomfort or eye strain or neck, computer neck is so common for everybody. And I think there's a lot of approaches to trying to find comfort, whether it's getting a new chair or getting the right desk that goes up and down and adjusting the ergonomics and things like that. How does the Feldenkrais method of movement education, how does it attempt to solve the problem of discomfort at the computer?
Yeah, so for one thing, as I said, it's preventative. It's not like after you already strained out your body, then you go do a massage, then you do something that kind of fix it, but the problem just keep recurring, and that's not what we want. We want the problem to just don't happen in the first place. And the method to do that is what I would call awareness through movement is the name of the lesson, and it's really not emphasizing on movement. I would say it's emphasizing on awareness, meaning using awareness as the tool to give yourself more comfort and put yourself in a more curious, active state to not having the problem to start in the first place. And you gotta keep learning, and it's about also method of learning to learn. So it's not just say, this is the right posture, you have to do this. This is the right height of your computer, you have to look it up this angle or look it down this angle. Like none of that. It's really about learning to know yourself and learning how to comfort your body. So everyone's different, and I hope throughout this teaching, you can find your unique strategy for your comfort.
You mentioned neuroscience earlier, and now you're talking about using the Feldenkrais method to improve awareness and learning how to learn, and by no and by increasing that self-awareness, that seems like that's the change that's going to lead to more successful, being more comfortable and whatnot at the computer. From the neuroscience side, is Feldenkrais method, from your point of view, is it a useful and meaningful way to create lasting change for the person?
That's an interesting question. Let me think. Um, of course, we talk about the idea of neuroplasticity, and Moshe Feldenkrais, the founder of Feldenkrais method, he started already noticing that before the all this more modern molecular research of neuroplasticity has been established. But intuitively and from observing people, he find out the way to effectively changing your neural system through neuroplasticity. And it's not through just some external voice to tell you like this is the right way. This is, you need to look into the mirror or have some kind of monitoring of your posture. And it's not that. The neural system itself also want to help itself. It wants to help you to feel comfortable, to be sustainable, to work for long hours. But then you have to give it the permission. You have to put your neural system in a less reactive mode, like fight or flight. I have to finish this work. I have to push, push, push. And in that way, you don't have the resource and you don't have the space, mental space and physical space to help your body adjust. So we want to also, it's not changing one muscle or one posture, it's really help you access that more relaxed, more curious state of your body and your nervous system. So it is able to learn and able to use the neuroplasticity.
Very cool. Using yourself as an example, well, you and I, we're in year 3 of our Feldenkrais training program. So, we've been doing kind of a deep dive in this approach. Have you noticed any influence in your own habits or comfort in your computer use?
Yeah. What actually first drawn me to Feldenkrais method was after I took like a month of class just from my school gym. Somehow they offer Feldenkrais class. I was like, oh, my lower back pain just disappeared. I don't know why. I don't know when. Just one day, I'm like, I haven't noticed this, but it just disappeared. Like, what the heck? And at that stage, it was still like a black box that I'm exploring, and sometimes it works, sometimes it's not. So, but that it was enough to make me curious to go deeper into this. And right now, I think I'm in a more aware stage where I'm really using the awareness to help with specific problems that arise in my own life. Like I've had really bad eye straining probably like 3-4 months ago. And it's like, why is this happening? And I'm adjusting using different laptop stands and blue light filtering, like all these external tools. It just, none of them really helped. But then through some more conversation with my Feldenkrais teachers and just more exploration on this topic, I just find the key is to be aware when my eyes feel strained. Like that's really such a simple key, but I've been ignoring for so long in my life. And that is the key, because a lot of time you need different kind of adjustments. You need different heights throughout the day, or you want different brightness of the screen or different light in the room at different times, depending on your body's condition at the moment. So having that awareness and having an early adjustment of this environment really helped me. And then also, it's funny, I find it's not only the body and movement, the more physical thing, right? It's also the psychological thing that when I feel stressed about some work or I'm pushing myself to do a work that I don't want to do, that's a really like almost #1 contributor to my eye straining. So actually using this awareness of my eyes, I use that to adjust what do I work on or how do I work on a job, and that actually improved my productivity, which was a surprising output.
Very great example, great example. For this workshop itself coming up in next month, there's 2 parts. There's the 3-hour workshop, sort of an intensive on a Saturday, and then there's 5 weekly classes as an optional part 2. Can you just describe a little bit, what are you going to cover in the workshop? And then what can you tell us about the series that's going to follow that?
Yeah, overall, the idea is simple. I want to introduce the methodology of Feldenkrais method. What are the ideas? What are the habits that we want to unlearn and habits we want to cultivate? And then I'm gonna lead you through some actual movement lessons to see how those principles are used in action and how different lessons can maybe help relieve your back pain or move your shoulder a bit, making it feel flexible. I would say with the 5 ATM series, for one, it gives you just more tools in your toolkit. So every lesson could be very different. It could be starting or targeting different parts of your body, but really it's not a part of the body. It's starting from somewhere, then how you see it connect with a bigger and bigger picture. So more of this toolkits, I think it's you just have more options in different situations. And also I think to learn Feldenkrais, especially for beginners, it just really takes some time and repetition to get into this state repetitively and more. For me, it's about learning, but also about unlearning. And that's the really difficult part, to be aware of my old habits. I thought I'm relaxed, but actually I'm still tensing up in some way, or my mind is not relaxing in some way. So it really needs more repetition to get into that state of awareness.
Very cool. The 5 lessons in the ATM series, are they going to be like, do they only apply to working at the computer, or could there be some other benefits in addition to the computer using situation?
Yeah. We can talk about benefit in terms of like relieving pain or making your body feel more relaxed, and it's not actually the kind of relaxation that make you want to sleep. It sometimes is the relaxed, energetic state. So anyone who wants those different things could benefit from this. And overall, I just think the Feldenkrais method as a method to learn or approach how to deal with problems or troubles in life, it's a really useful thing that is kind of alien to a lot of our current social modern idea. Like we have the ideas, you're gonna push hard, there's no pain, then there's no gain, and a lot of those things that is actually crippling our improvement and giving us a lot of boundaries that shouldn't exist in the first place. So I think anyone who wanna explore different possibility of looking at the body, looking at how growth and improvement could happen, they can benefit from this too.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, I'm excited to host you. And yeah, anything else you want to say?
I want to say that I say I'm a Feldenkrais teacher or practitioner, but really I'm also a learner. I'm really curious to meet every different individuals and see how you have this chemical reaction with Feldenkrais method, and we learn from each other.
Very cool. Awesome. Thanks, Joey.
Yeah, thank you, Alex.